Plastic Model Builders, welcome back. This is part 4 of the F-4C Phantom by Revell. If you didn't see our previous episodes, go back, watch them. Watch all this video, that way you don't miss anything. As you can see, we're painting the wheels black. Here we are cutting out all the windows. They had rather lengthy attachments for the sprues, made it difficult to remove, so you have to be careful, just slowly etch out lines in there until they break apart. You'll see there's 4 different pieces of these canopies. You got the front windshield, the front canopy, rear canopy, and then of course that middle section. We'll have to paint these also in various ways, so we're also going to show you how to do that starting right now. First, what we're going to do, we're going to go around the inside right over here. That way, when we do this, you can put this canopy on and then you can secure the rear windshield and all that good stuff, and the back windshield and the front windshield. That way it's all glued properly, and we're also going to align it. So you see me painting that gray because we have to pre-paint some of this stuff. That way we make sure we get it right ahead of time. So this is the middle window. Now you see me doing the left front, or I'm sorry, not left front, the front windshield. You see getting all the inside there and around all the trimming on that. We want to make that look pretty. There's a little bit of model making madness here. What we have here is, of course, the rear canopy, I believe. I'm not sure. They're so hard to tell. Maybe that's the front. I don't remember. But either way, you see where I'm painting here. That way you know which areas you need to paint this gray color if you decide to do open canopies, even if they're closed. That way it's not seen and it looks good how it's supposed to look on the real plane. So now that we've got that done, we're going to let the paint dry, and we are going to just glue some pylons here. I'm sorry, I glue some missile rails onto the pylons. I always get my terms wrong. You know that. It's cool though. So here we go. Gluing those together. You know, you got 2 of these on each side plus 2 per wing. Here I am putting some primer on, and after you put the primer on, let that dry for a while. You'll also put on another coat of gray paint. Make that look really pretty. It's really important because that's the underside. I did use a gray paint at first that I didn't like, turned out a little too green, so I didn't like that, so I went back and repainted it. I'm not going to show you that. Just know that I do it, and it looks great in the final product, which is all that counts. So here we go, painting the missile rail assembly that we did. Don't forget, you also have for your bombs, those need to be painted in your fuel tanks. I got some landing gear pieces right here. Need to make sure we get all those, and of course some flaps that go on the back of the plane, air brakes, whatever you want to call them. Here are the fuel tanks. Of course, they are like one assembly anyway, so you just have to make sure they stay put. Now we are gluing on the front windshield. I'm not too worried about the mess. The glue dries clear. We can scrape away any excess later. And what we're going to do, you see I have that masking on there. That's for painting, so we'll get that off eventually. We are going to put on that middle section here. Now to align this, I take both pieces, the front canopy and the rear canopy, and I just slowly put them into place, and I keep them there until that dries. Once that's dry, I also temporarily glue those into place so I can paint this model. Painting, here we go. The fun part, we have a tan color, dark green, and a medium green. So I do use a regular brown color that I found from Tamiya that I really didn't have to mix up too well. It looks fine out of the can. If you match this up with pictures, if you type in like F-4C candy cane, it should pull up a bunch of pictures of this type of plane with the orange candy cane and the black. We're doing the black version. So you see this tan, it goes all over the place. This is the main color for this model. We're going to leave the middle part of that fuselage, middle back end, because that actually goes a white color when we put on the decals, if you choose to use decals, or you can be brave and paint it by hand. I don't care how you do it, just know it's a little bit of a chore. So here, these are the rear stabilizers. We're going to paint those as well, this tan color, and they get 3 different colors, of course, so have fun with that, right? You know how this model is. Lots of fun, lots of colors. Here we go with the dark green. We're putting that on right here around the front of the nose. It's okay to get a little bit over the nose. It's got some lines. You see where we're going with this, right? Looks good. Going all over this plane. This is the rear portion of it. We bring it up a little bit more. There, see that? And as you see, as I said earlier, I'm leaving that center portion. We're going to compare that with like the decal that it comes with. That way we can kind of see exactly where it's supposed to be, because I don't trust the measurements that come on the directions. They just didn't seem right. So get the other side of this tail. We got the one side, get the other side. Like I said, all sorts of colors to this. Take your time. I did a couple coats, first a light coat, then do another thicker coat. That really brings out the colors in it, makes it look more realistic, of course. I didn't even have to really weather this, because you look at the planes and pictures, they looked fairly decent as they were for back in the mid-70s, I believe, early 70s, whenever they took place. So here's a flap, painting a little bit of that. Some of that gets green, some of it gets white, because it intersects basically with how that candy cane worked. And of course you got that little arrow that I know you can't really see it, but it's on there, right where that airbrush was. So now we've got that our medium green is. We are now going to put on the dark green. Hopefully I said that right before if I told you we were putting on dark green, but we definitely put on the medium green. Here is the dark green. You can see it's definitely a darker color, getting the spots that we left before. And like I said, make sure just follow the directions that you have for your model, depending on which scheme you want to do, whether you want to do the whether you want to do the black candy cane or the orange candy cane. That's up to you. So, just watch all this and enjoy it. This is how we did it. I outlined it, didn't use tack or anything like that. I just did it all kind of freehand. That's kind of the point, I think. Just make it how you want. There we go. You see I'm sizing that up right there to see where this is supposed to go. Everything looks good. I painted a little over than what I needed to. Here we go, another dark green color, just getting an outline for that. Light, then dark. It's the best way I can tell you to do it. And as you can see, just slowly fill it in. Just like that, you make it look pretty. I love it. So after we get all this taken care of, we will have to paint the wingtips a wonderful white color. And why do we paint the wingtips a white color? Because they need a decal on those as well. So that's what makes it look good when we do that. So here we go. Not doing that. I figured I'd fool you. Here are the tops of the fuel tanks. You see where you're basically just getting the actual fuel tank itself. You really don't have to get the pylon of that. You can if you want. The top of those pylons, sometimes depending on which one will get painted. So here are the wheels. Paint those wheel hubs a steel color. Front and back, big ones and little ones. So this is the big one. This is the little one, as you can see, a lot smaller for the front wheels. And then here's the opposite side of the big wheel and the opposite side of the little wheel. So here we are. Like I said, we're painting this white. This is where we put the remaining candy cane. The directions tell you to paint it white. That way there's no gray bleed through or anything like that. You can see how it's different from all the other gray color that you can see on the bottom of the plane right there. Get your landing gear as well while we got the white out. That's why everything was masked off like this. You want to paint all your landing gear. Yes, I know I mask off a lot like people say, but kind of hard to prevent overspray at times. The best way to do it is just mask anything off. You take no chances. There's the underside of that one right there. Actually, that's the top, not the underside. And here's that middle section I was talking about. Mask it off. I did get a little bleed through on that. That's okay. We're going to go through that later, and we're going to touch that up. I'm not perfect. It's just a model for those perfectionists that love to destroy me. Hey, it is what it is, right? So here we go. Painting the rest of these flaps. You got that little bit of white on there. Got our missiles. Going to paint those white. Make those look pretty. Then after that, paint the nose black. Get the front, the back. Don't forget to get the little point of it. And we will be done. We'll take off this masking, and you can see what a wonderful job I actually did painting this front of the plane. Look at that. Get the rear, underside, go all around that, whatever that thing is, I don't know, radar. I'm sure it's some sort of sensor. They all have that on the plane. I use sticky tack and some tape to mask this off. So there we go. And then just peel off your tape. Looks great. I love it. Coming to the end of this video, we've got our metallizer. We're going to put this on the rear of the plane and these fins right here. Buff it out. Do your thing like they do on the Discovery Channel. And you can see there's the actual gray color from the plane after a repaint. I made it look great. Anyway, this is it. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, and like, of course. I will also show you some scenes coming up from the next model, the next video. You see that? Put on some decals. fun stuff. Until next time, subscribe, comment, and like as usual. See ya.